Hello everyone, Jabberwock here. Today I am presenting to you this totally subjective top 10 ways to generate loot scrolls. In it, you will find out the fastest, the easiest, as well as the most efficient way to generate them. So without further ado, let's jump into it. In 10th place, I put Largescale PvP. This method is ranked 10 because it is the hardest and slowest way to generate loot scrolls. It requires you to be in a guild that does large-scale PvP, and that's not everybody's case. To begin with, you don't do node wars or siege for the loot scrolls, but it's a nice little bonus. You will get multiple scrolls from the reward chest you receive at the end of node wars or siege, as well as medals of honor. These medals are stored in your currency tab and can be exchanged without a limit. You have many options, and if you scroll down near the bottom, you will find that you can exchange 20 medals for one loot scroll. You can get as low as 20 medals if you lose Tier 1 Node Wars, and as high as 120 medals for winning Uncapped Siege. Some of the rewards chest will also give you loot scrolls and much more. Like I said, the loot scrolls are only a small reason why people participate in Node Wars or Siege, and so I believe it is fair to put large-scale PvP last in this loot scroll top 10. In 9th place, I put Dark Rifts. Recent updates have turned the unpredictable Dark Rifts into a, well, predictable system. The bosses will now respawn exactly 5 days after you killed them. Each boss will drop 5 Dark Spirits Greed. You can find your Black Spirits Greed in the currency tab. The exchange rate is 5 for 1 loot scroll. Again, similar to Node War and Siege, you aren't doing Dark Rifts for the loot scrolls, but it's a nice little bonus. Because Dark Rifts are such an important part of the late game gear progression, you will most certainly be doing your Dark Rifts regularly and not let them sit for days. Right, guys? The Trusty Value Pack takes the 8th place. It may seem silly to have it on this top 10, but having a value pack active on your account will generate 1 loot scroll a day for free. In 7th, we have events. This includes coupon codes as well. Events aren't always predictable, but they often include a way to generate loot scrolls. I suggest that you spend a few minutes every patch day and read the ongoing events to see if you aren't missing on some free loot scrolls and such. 6th place goes to Twitch drops. All you need to do is spend 2 hours a day watching any BDO stream that happens to have drops enabled on it. Most streams do, but make sure to check the tags under the stream. You should see drops enabled. You will need to first collect the drops on Twitch, and then you will have to log on the BDO website. Go to your account information and click on Web Storage, then click on Bring Drops and send them to the server you play on. Twitch drops include some fail stacks, a loot box, and 3 Black Desert drop seals. You can exchange 10 seals for 2 loot scrolls. I prefer getting the energy gourds, but the loot scrolls are a solid option too. Speaking of Twitch drops, if you don't know who to watch, come hang out on my stream. I am live Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. I will be grinding Tungrad Ruins for the total duration of each stream, so don't expect the content to be exciting. I am always happy to answer your questions regarding the game, but enough of this shameless plug. Halfway through this top 10, and we have the last passive way to generate loot scrolls, the loyalty shop. You can buy 3 loot scrolls every week for 300 loyalty points. Please, Pearl Abyss, add back the energy gourds in the loyalty shop. 4th place goes to a staple of most players. It's the Pit of the Undying. If you've never done your Pit dailies, you will start with a Pry insignia. The dailies for Pry will generate 50 seals of the Undying a day. At Duo, it will be 60 seals. Try is 70, Tet is 80, and finally, once you unlock your pen insignia, you will earn 100 seals a day. You can find your Undying seals in the currency tab. 1 loot scroll costs 40 seals, meaning that at Pry, you will generate a bit more than 1 loot scroll a day, and at Pen, it will be 2.5. There are other rewards that are worth the few minutes it takes to do these dailies. So even if loot scrolls aren't your most urgent worry, cronstones are sure to be. Now on to the top 3. This method is the easiest way to generate loot scrolls in Black Desert Online. It's seasons, or more specifically, grinding on season. If you've watched almost any of my other videos, you already know about it. But for those who are watching this video as an introduction to my content, you probably don't know what I've been up to for the better part of last year. I grinded on season and collected almost 1.2 million time-filled black stones, which I turned into loot scrolls before graduating. This method is the easiest because all it requires you to do is grind area of the game where monsters pretty much die in one hit. Depending on your pets in your class, as well as your current drop rate bonus, you can expect anywhere from 300 to 1800 time-filled stones per hour. You can exchange 300 time-filled black stones for one loot scroll. That gives us 1 to 6 loot scrolls generated per hour. Keep in mind that you should always run a level 1 loot scroll while grinding on season as long as you have decent pets. Even if you are grinding Valencia zones that do not gain any additional trash drops from it. The reason is that the 100% drop rate the loot scroll gives will pay itself back, and some more in the form of additional time-filled stones. The only exception to this rule is if you can reach the drop rate cap without a loot scroll. I posted a top 10 grind spot on season not long ago. You should go check it out if you aren't sure where to grind. In second, we have Echo Rifts, not dark rifts like I mentioned earlier. These Echo Rifts are a season-exclusive mechanic. I also posted a video about them, but if you want a brief summary, rifts will spawn 3 waves of bosses with a potential bonus wave between the second and third wave. The bosses will reward you with time-filled black stones as well as Tuvala accessories that you can melt into more time stones. You can expect to generate up to 12 loot scrolls an hour with the appropriate party. This is the fastest way to generate loot scrolls, but it requires a well-coordinated party as well as at least one person who generates rifts through seasonal content. I have run thousands of rifts so far, and even though I have more than enough loot scrolls at the moment, I am still taking part in rift parties. The reason is that loot scrolls aren't the only reward you will get. Sharps and crons as well as valks are part of the loot table. For a detailed guide on rifts, click on this video. And finally, in first place, we have the most efficient way to generate loot scrolls. It's season again, but this time it's gathering. So far, we've talked about quite a few different active ways to generate loot scrolls, but this one is the winner. Let me explain. Just like grinding on season, gathering on season will reward you with time-filled black stones. The difference is that gathering will generate way more than grinding, and it won't be at the cost of ditching your main grinding character. See, there is something called opportunity cost. It represents the potential benefits that are missed out on when choosing one option over another. If I can generate 2.5 billion silver per hour while grinding on my normal character, but only 1.5 billion silver per hour on season, then I am potentially losing 1 billion an hour by making this decision. While grinding on season is heavily gated by the lack of gear progression Tuvala items give, gathering isn't. A seasoned character can equip any mastery equipment a normal character can, except for Stella's Spirit Stone. Meaning that other than the 2 crystal slots you may have unlocked from wearing a fiery awakened weapon on your normal character, gathering on season is the same as gathering on normal channels. In fact, season gathering is simply better, because gathering on normal channel does not generate up to 8 loot scrolls an hour. Yes, you heard me right. Gathering on season will generate a lot of time stones as well as rift fragments. The main problem with this method is that gathering requires energy. Well, I have a solution for you, fishing or training horses on season. Like I said earlier, you can equip all your mastery gear. You can fish at night or train horses worry-free because forced PvP is disabled on season channels. Even something as little as a 15-minute gathering session will net you 1 or 2 loot scrolls as well as rift fragments that you can turn into rifts. How many time stone you will gather per hour will heavily depend on your mastery, gathering drop rate, but also where you decide to gather. I plan on making a top 10 season gathering spot video in the future, so if you're interested in learning more about it, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And with that, I conclude this video. Thank you for watching until the end. I really appreciate all your support. If I forgot your favorite way to generate looties, please let me know in the comment section. Make sure to stretch regularly and stay hydrated during those long gaming sessions. I'll see you in the next video, but until then, keep having fun playing Black Desert Online.